You keep saying the word rational. I don't
He
think in
would.
any way this is
He
a
would be.
I don't think in any way this is a rational decision. Trump is very image conscious. He has to basically, and he will do so. He will make it so that this was a total victory. And in some ways it was. He certainly degraded their capability. He took out their leader, but he made the problem worse in the end, in the long term. Certainly, there is absolutely no argument that the number one priority they're going to have going forward is to get a nuclear weapon. They know at this point that any kind of treaty, any kind of agreements are just worthless. They know that the only way you can prevent your country from being bombed is to have a nuclear weapon. So they are going to basically be hard pressed on this. It's going to require a lot of intelligence to basically make that difficult to happen. But they've now got allies that are going to who are nuclear powers, that are going to do their best to basically help these people out. It's not a good situation. I do think there's going to be some kind of horrific attack at one point, perhaps on American soil, perhaps in, more likely in American bases over. I don't think there's any way to avoid that at this point. I think Iraq, basically, if we were to pull out even tomorrow, they would just basically lay low. I think the oil would start flowing again. I think they would go toward rearming, and I think they would plot their revenge. I really do. The world's a more dangerous place at this point. I don't think that there's any way you can argue against that. At least we would prevent, if we pulled out tomorrow, for example, we would prevent hopefully any more Americans from getting killed, American military getting killed, and we wouldn't be bombing any more schools.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard for me to argue with your core points there. I mean, uh, I think we have created just an unimaginable amount of risk going forward for the country and for all of us. But it's yes, I mean, some of it's economic, and I think there's going to be economic ramifications from this. I'm not so sure will just be a short-term shock. And of course, that's assuming the war ends tomorrow. I think there's a more strategic time frame here where, because I mean, and I think you said or alluded to some of this. Iran has been diminished but not destroyed. Iran is, you'd almost have to kill the country
That's right.
and demolish the entire country to get rid of
That's
the
right.
of the IRGC and the regime's control over the country. And as long as they're around, they're going to deny the Strait of Hormuz, and they're most likely going to be able to do that no matter what you do, whether they're having to use small boats, drones, you name it. That's the geography, and then the counter to that militarily, the next step is boots on the ground.